Lance Armstrong agrees to $5 million settlement of government lawsuit. The U.S. Justice Department has settled its civil fraud lawsuit against former cyclist Lance Armstrong for $5 million just weeks before the case was scheduled to go to trial May 7 with nearly $100 million at stake. Armstrong and number 39's attorney confirmed Thursday to USA Today Sports. The federal government had sued Armstrong in 2013, a few months after he admitted to extensive use of performance-enhancing drugs in a televised interview with talk show host Oprah Winfrey. The government filed the suit on behalf of the U.S. Postal Service, which paid $32.3 million to sponsor Armstrong's cycling team from 2000 to 2004. Armstrong said in a statement that he and number 39's happy to have made peace with the Postal Service. "While I believe that the USPS lawsuit against me was meritless and unfair, and while I am spending a lot of money to resolve it, I have since 2013 tried to take full responsibility for my mistakes and inappropriate conduct, and make amends wherever possible," he said. "I rode my heart out for the Postal cycling team, and was always especially proud to wear the red, white and blue eagle on my chest when competing in the Tour de France. Those memories are very real and mean a lot to me." The government had sought to recoup the $32.3 million in treble under the False Claims Act, nearly $100 million. It said the Postal Service never would have paid for the sponsorship if it had known Armstrong and his teammates were doping, and said Armstrong lied about the doping to continue enriching himself. Armstrong did not face prison if he was found liable, but could have faced significant financial penalties and damages after he previously indicated to USA Today Sports that he's paid more than $100 million in unspecified legal costs, including other lawsuits. The Justice Department declined to file a criminal case against him in 2012 and instead opted to join a lawsuit originally filed under seal in 2010 by Floyd Landis, Armstrong's legal enemy and former cycling teammate. As a government whistleblower, Landis stood to get up to 25% of the cut. Landis and number 39, attorney, Paul Scott, said that the settlement calls for a payment of $5 million to the United States and $1.65 million to Landis. In addition, the settlement provides for the payment by the United States to Mr. Landis of 22%, $1.1 million, of the United States recovery, Scott said in a statement. This case was not about whether Armstrong cheated in races, but whether he caused false claims to be submitted to the government and whether the Postal Service was damaged by Armstrong's conduct. Armstrong's attorneys argued that the Postal Service should have known about the doping back then but essentially didn't care, and have assembled evidence to show that the Postal Service received far more in promotional value than what it paid for the sponsorship. The Postal Service and Landis had sought $100 million in damages from Lance, but in light of several significant court rulings rejecting and limiting the plaintiff's damages theories, the case today settled for $5 million. Plus an additional amount to pay attorney's fees to Landis' lawyer, said Armstrong and number 39's attorney, Elliot Peters of Kecker Van Nest and Peters, LLP. Lance is delighted to put this behind him. The Justice Department didn't, and number 39's immediately provide a comment on the settlement. Jury selection for the trial was to begin May 1 in Washington, D.C., and a pre-trial conference for the case was scheduled for Monday.